After I learned the kick-up handstand about 3 years ago, I admit that I still need a few tries in order to kick up the right amount into a successful handstand. Therefore, I thought it would be very cool to learn the straight arm press handstand, so I could get into the handstand position 100% of the time, fully in control. However, when I attempt the straight arm press handstand, it seemed absolutely impossible due to my lack of mobility. Additionally, I learned that the pancake fold is one of the prerequisites for the straight arm press handstand. Therefore, I decided to set a goal for myself to learn the pancake fold. On day 1, after fully warming up, I attempted the pancake fold and realized I was far from achieving it. I tried my best to go as slow as I could, but this was the best I could do because of the tightness of my hamstrings. Achieving the pancake fold seemed impossible. About 1.5 years ago, I bought a mobility training program from my favorite calisthenics YouTuber, the legendary Blue Shorts Calisthenics Movement, to work on my mobility for the first time. And I was able to see a lot of beginner gains. That video did really well on YouTube, so I decided to reach out to them to see if they could guide me how to achieve the pancake fold. Luckily, Alex replied and gave me access to their newest Mobility 2.0 program. On top of the Mobility 2.0 program, which is a well-rounded program that mobilizes the entire body, Alex compiled a custom routine for me based on the exercises in the Mobility 2.0 program that focuses on hips, shoulders, and compression to help me focus on achieving the pancake fold. I also had a chance to learn directly from Alex. What are the techniques I should be aware of when doing the pancake fold?
Now, if you want to execute the pancake correctly, you should pay attention to keep your back straight and your knees straight and tilt your pelvis forward. Now, if you round your spine and bend your knees, it would be a compensation, and then it wouldn't really help you to improve your mobility or flexibility. So better stay further up with your upper body, but execute it right. Now, what you can do is try to focus on leading the movement with your belly button, but not so much with your chin or your forehead.
Why does the custom routine you compile for me include shoulders instead of just hips and compression?
Okay, I have to get a little bit deeper into that. Now, think about it like this. Every single movement in your body is controlled by your brain in combination with the central nervous system via so-called neuronal pathways. And how they work together can be seen in walking, for example. Now, if you walk, you always also move your arms in an opposite manner, right? Like if you make a step forward with your right leg, which bends the hip, you also swing your arms backward on the same side, and this stretches your shoulder. So you have bending your hip and stretching your shoulder at the same time. Now, once you started walking, all those single movements are automated via those neuronal pathways, which is called central pattern generator. Now, on those pathways, the different joints are connected to each other, which is called joint modulation. Now, long story short, because of that connection, you can improve the range of motion of one joint by mobilizing another modulated joint. It's not completely backed by science yet, but chances are that you can profit from it. So in your case, it totally made sense to also include the shoulder in your workout so that you can support improving the mobility in your hips as well. And that's also the reason why we chose a full body approach for the mobility program, so that you can train every major joint in each session.
How worried should I be about cramping? Because I feel like if I push too hard, my hamstring is gonna cramp.
You shouldn't be too worried about this. Actually, there are many reasons why a muscle can cramp. And one of them is that you try to contract it too hard. Like for a contraction, the brain sends signals to the muscle and gets feedback about how the joint moves. And if you're not used to a specific movement and maybe even didn't build enough strength for it, it might happen that you force the contraction too much. Because the closer you come to the end range of motion, the higher the resistance against this movement and the more strength you have to apply to overcome that position. Like if you take your fingers in that position and try to move them up like 10 millimeters or so. It's pretty easy, right? But if you put that at the end range of motion, it's nearly impossible to move them any further at all. Now you try to contract the muscles more and more to overcome that position, and the brain sends so many signals that at some point the muscle just overreacts and starts to cramp. But mainly this happens at a shortened muscle length. So for the pancake in muscles like the quads or the abs or the abductors. The hamstrings on the other side are in a stretch position, and it's less likely that they start cramping on that exercise. But of course, if you still do get a cramp, you should reduce the tension on that muscle and put it back to a regular length, or maybe put it in a slightly stretched position. And what also can help is to apply a gentle massage to that area.
Is there any high-level mobility training principles that you can share with us?
Yeah, of course. In comparison to passive stretching, where someone else pushes you down or you use weights or other external forces like a resistance band to stretch, mobility always has a strength component to it. And by that you work on improving the neuronal connections for a specific movement in your brain and learn how to properly stabilize a joint in a wider range of motion. And this is very similar to riding a bike, because once you've learned it, you probably won't forget it. Now, in the mobility program, we also have stretching-like exercises. And to make the principle work for them, you should apply tension to the antagonists of the stretched muscles. So in your case, for the pancake, you would be stretching the hamstrings and the adductors. So you should be tensing the abductors, the hip flexors, and the quads. And what you can do is taking the pancake position, of course with a clean execution, and try to move your legs up and to the outside. Now, of course, your legs won't move at all, but this is not really important. Only by trying to move the legs, the brain already sends signals via those neuronal pathways, which helps to strengthen the muscles and stabilize the joint. And this can improve your mobility.
Thank you so much, Alex. I really appreciate the tips. I started following the mobility training routine designed by Alex and also made sure I applied all the tips he gave. My expectations were really low. I thought this would be another progression video that would take me more than a year to accomplish. I trained and trained and trained. To my great surprise, I was making progress steadily. On day 50, my attempts were starting to look like I successfully did the pancake fold because I was not shirtless. When I showed my brother the video clip, he too thought it looked like a successful pancake fold. As we all know, for skill learning videos on YouTube, the fewer days people claim it takes to learn a skill, the more likely the video will go viral. I haven't produced a viral video for a long time because I ran out of easy skills to learn fast. And all the skills I'm training for right now are hard. I had a strong urge to stop right there and claim that I learned the pancake fold in 50 days for the sake of going viral. However, I knew that my chest didn't touch the ground, so it doesn't count yet. There are so many fitness YouTubers out there faking progress for views and sales. I pride myself on being one of the honest fitness YouTubers on YouTube. So of course, I resisted the urge and continued to train and train and train. On day 107, finally, this happened.
Ooh, yes! I did it! High five! Yeah, I did it! I did it, guys! I did it!
I was so excited and I had to ask my wife to grab the big fancy camera to record myself doing the pancake fold again. Thanks for watching. I believe that mobility training is a foundation for any form of strength training, and having good mobility is extremely important to your physical health. So you should definitely click the link in the video description below to check out the Mobility 2.0 program from CaliMove and start mobilizing your body. Full disclosure, if you use my link to sign up for their program, I will receive a small commission. If you Google hard enough, can you possibly find every piece of information yourself included in the program? It's definitely possible, but if you value your time as I do, it will definitely be worth paying distilled information organized by an expert. Again, make sure to click the link in the video description below. See you in the next video.